If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, if you want to tell me you love my beard, the best way to do it is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, Nicki Minaj goes off on Joe Budden. And Trina's A&R says Nicki Minaj is a deceiver and a manipulator. Plus, Ugly God says tracking first week sales of albums is an old school mentality. Let's talk hip-hop.
Basically, you threatening me to do your little. I'ma give you your. I'ma let you do you on your show, child. I'ma let you do you on your show, child. I'm about to fall all the way back and let you do you. Since you already got cussed out, but always know you can and will get cussed out again, Joe.
But that was a simple curse out.
I did cuss you out before, but nobody heard it. Nobody heard it. Well, nobody heard it. Nobody heard it. No. Why not? But when you just a me, child, the world gets to hear it, child.
Alright, Joe, so Nicki Minaj goes off on Joe Budden, right? She straight curses him out, right? And I can't really show that to you, right? So if you really want to see, like, everything and what Nicki Minaj said on Queen Radio yesterday, you could go on my Instagram. It's posted up right there, right? There's 2 clips on my IG. One is showing Nicki Minaj, talking to Joe Budden about how he said that she was on drugs. The other one is about motorsport, right? So first and foremost, she talks about, hey, Joe Budden, we never met each other, right? So how are you to say that I'm on drugs, right? Because if y'all remember, about 2 years ago, back when Joe Budden was on Everyday Struggle with DJ Academics and Nadeska, both DJ Academics and Joe Budden kind of theorized that maybe the reason why Nicki Minaj deleted her Instagram and all that stuff like that, and the reason why she's acting all erratic and everything like that is because she's on drugs, right? And that kind of came with the rumor because Meek Mill said that he was addicted to Percocets at one point, right? He couldn't smoke or anything like that because he was on probation, but they don't really test you for pain medication, especially if you're in pain. If you have a prescription for it, then there you go, you good, right? So during the time that Meek Mill was with Nicki Minaj, he admitted that he was on perks. So, Joe Budden theorized that, hey man, if Meek was on it and both of them are together, then Nicki must be on it too, right? Plus she's acting kind of crazy, so she must be on it too. So Nicki Minaj actually checked Joe Budden about it, right? And she was basically like, yo, have we even ever met? You sitting here talking about we do drugs, but have we ever met? And then Joe Budden, he was cool and calm, you know what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj was getting kind of hyped. He was real cool. He was like, so Nicki, you saying I never met you? And then he was like, then Nicki was like, answer my question though. And she was like, and then Joe Budden said, so we didn't record that one song together back in the day? And then Nicki was like, okay, fine, so we did meet, but that was 10 years ago. So we met once 10 years ago, and then all of a sudden you think that you know my whole personality and know that I'm on drugs or whatever, right? And she basically, and it takes a lot to really shut Joe Budden down or shut Joe Budden up, but she kind of made him back down a little bit and basically was like, yo, bro, this is what it is, and you're wildin', right? And then she starts talking about motorsport, right? She says, so which one is it? Basically calling Joe Budden out again, because if y'all don't remember, Academics again, and Joe Budden basically said that Nicki Minaj, the reason why she was so mad once Motorsport came out with the Migos and Cardi B is because she didn't even know that Cardi B was going to be on the song, right? And then she goes, so which one is it, right? Because on one hand, y'all always paint me as the big bad monster that knows everything that's going on in hip hop, that tries to block somebody's bag. And then on this hand, you saying that I didn't even know that Cardi B was going to be on the song. So which one is it? Because if I'm that A kind of artist that you say I am and that I'm blocking people's bags before they even come out, then I should know that the girl was going to be on the song, right? And then she goes on to say that they asked me if she could be on the song with us, the Migos, and that she said, yeah, let's do it. Let's put them on the song. But then after that, they ended up getting into a situation and blah, 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 right? So she was basically defending herself on her platform, right? And had Joe Budden sitting right there cursing him out, right? And this is kind of funny because, of course, she controlled the narrative of what goes on her platform, but she also did say that she is willing to go to Joe Budden's platform, maybe a pull-up, or maybe she's just going to go on a Joe Budden podcast, and then Joe Budden will be able to tell his side of the story and kind of let us know the narrative a little bit better, right? And then after she cursed him out, she did, you know, let us know on Twitter that everything was all good, and that she's not mad at him, and that she doesn't want to kill him or murder him, but she had to get it off her chest, right? And then also, y'all can see, like in that little clip that I showed you, Joe Budden basically was like, listen, yo, we had this conversation before. We had it behind the scenes, but years ago though, right? And then she's like, yeah, we did have it behind the scenes, but if you're gonna say something to me in public, then I'm gonna have to check you in public, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I brought it up again, right? So it was cool, and she got at least to be able to like get that off her chest, right? And now, you know, we'll see what happens when she goes on Joe Budden's podcast. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. All right, Joe, so that was Reginald Saunders, right? And this is one of Trina's like head A&Rs, right? And y'all remember when that Baps record came out a couple months ago with Trina and Nicki Minaj? Well, they used the Project Chick beat and all that stuff like that. And the song was kind of fire, right? And I talked about it like in a couple of videos back, so y'all can just go on YouTube and type in like Jonny Fastlane talks about Baps or whatever like that, right? But Reginald Saunders on Instagram yesterday comes out and he says, I want to address the issue so bad about this Baps record and video, and it's taken everything inside me to remain quiet. This isn't the first time at Nicki Minaj pulled this stunt, and trust me, it's cool. I can't get over how fake people can be for a little fame, likes, and followers. When everyone tried to warn me, I still gave her the benefit of the doubt. I can't wait to see how all of this is about to play out, because you can't stop karma's reign. Shame on you. I mostly feel sorry for the Barbs because they have no clue how much of a deceiver and a manipulator their leader is. I got time today. I'm not being quiet. My vote goes to Cardi B, right? Crazy, okay? And this is coming out, I don't know, like this is coming out of the blue, but he kind of says that, you know, that Nicki Minaj didn't work the record as well. So like, yeah, she went into the studio, yeah, she recorded the song with Trina, and then she just let Trina do her thing with the song. If Trina's gonna work the song, she works the song, right? But Nicki didn't go on her platform and say, hey guys, Baps, you know, Baps is out, me and Trina. She didn't, you know, go on her, you know, radio show and be like, hey guys, Baps is out, me and Trina. But you know what? I kind of beg to differ with Reginald Saunders, right? Because look, he's saying two things that are kind of contradicting each other in that one statement, right? So he's saying it's funny how fake people could be for a little bit of followers and a little bit of fame and a little bit of likes, right? But then on the same hand, he's saying that she didn't work the record well, right? But the whole thing is that if Nicki Minaj wanted to kind of change the narrative, and we all know what was going on, right? A lot of people said that Nicki Minaj doesn't work well with females. That's why she had beef with Remy. That's why she had beef with Cardi. That's why she got beef with the City Girls, right? So we get it, right? And so the first person that Nicki Minaj tried to be friends with, as far as another female rapper goes, was Trina, right? Because Trina was coming out with the song. Trina and Nicki Minaj never had no ill will towards each other. So, okay, let's, you know, call each other up, and at least we don't hate each other so we can do a song together, right? But the whole situation is, since Nicki Minaj was trying to change the narrative that she doesn't work well with other female rappers, she did talk about this on her platform. Yo, me and Trina, this and that, Baps, blah, 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 coming out, Queen Radio, da, da, da. She did go on her Instagram and talk about it, blah, 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 blah. I mean, like, what else is Nicki Minaj supposed to do, right? So now Trina's A&R is upset because Nicki Minaj didn't work the record as well as he would have wanted her to. Like, maybe they should have worked the record a little bit better themselves and not blame Nicki for, I don't know, if they're not satisfied, you know? But anyway, so Nicki responds. Yesterday on Queen Radio, right? She basically talked about everything. She aired it out, right? So she responds to Reginald Saunders and she's like, until you're no longer a human being, you'll always care. Like, she's trying to tell him like, yo, I do care about this situation. And she's also saying that the people that she helped is sad, but those are the ones that start the whole narrative about how Nicki is hard to work with and blah, 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 right? And so she says that's the problem. And then she says, but I'll say this, I'm not addressing men anymore because, you know, Reginald Saunders is a dude, right? She's like, I'm not addressing men anymore. Address my husband, right? So she's basically saying, yo, address Petty Zoo, right? And this is kind of funny. Like, I get it. You know, you're responding back to this dude. You're saying that you do care. You're basically, she's not, you know, calling him like you bitch or anything like that. And I don't really think that she wants any kind of, you know, beef with Trina, but she's saying, I do care about the record. And basically I worked it the best that I could, right? And then she also says, but at the end of the day, I'm not responding to men anymore, because what does a woman look like, you know, beefing with another guy, right? And that's true and that's cool. But she says that you need to talk to my husband, right? And that's kind of funny because, listen, I'm sure people respect Petty Zoo, right? I'm sure that Nicki Minaj respects him, right? And a lot of people, when they see him, I'm sure they give him that respect, look him in the eye and all that stuff like that, right? But it's like if you're a female teacher, right? And then a male teacher is saying that you didn't teach the class right, or you didn't have the tools, the proper books that the kids needed in the classroom that day, and that you're just sloppy with your job, and a male teacher saying that to a female teacher, and your response to that teacher is, you know what, don't talk to me about it, talk to my husband. When your husband's a construction worker, then it's kind of weird, right? So yes, you know, people respect Petty, and that's cool and all of that, but just not within this industry, right? Not doing this, right? So Nicki Minaj, if you was married to Meek Mill or something like that, then yeah, people would probably address Meek like, yo, Nicki is wilding, blah, 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 she did this in the studio. If you talk to Petty Zoo about that, does he even know what you're talking about, right? Does he even know terminology? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I'm sure they respect him, but just not with this, because this is not his job, right? So, like, why would they address your husband, right? But, whatever. I think that she's just trying to put a spin on it, and she's just trying to, like, dismiss his comments and what he says. And honestly, I don't even think that she should have replied to his comments, because he was contradicting himself in his own statement. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
So I'm going to clarify what I meant by first week album sales are super old school. So,
all right, so, you know, I just want to let y'all know, right? YouTube, they've been kind of flagging me for copyright and stuff like that when I use like certain clips in my videos. So if you want to see the whole clip, you should go to my Instagram, right? Because the whole thing is there and Instagram don't really care, right? But anyway, so the whole situation is that, you know, he went on Everyday Struggle, Ugly God, last week, and he basically said that tracking first week sales is an old school mentality, right? A lot of people were like, well, what do you mean, right? And a lot of people were offended, especially people from the old school, because again, here's this young rapper trying to say that old heads don't know what we doing, or that we doing it the wrong way, or whatever like that, right? So he actually does a little video to kind of clarify what he's saying, because he didn't mean that at all, right? At all whatsoever, right? So what he's saying basically is that he used an example of a number 30,000, right? And he's saying, like, let's say I sell 30,000 records the first week, right? But here's the whole thing. If you were selling records back in, I don't know, the year 2000, and you sold 30,000 records, that means 30,000 people went out and picked up your CD, right? 30,000 people went out and picked up your tape or whatever, right? And that's it, that's all, and everything is good, right? One purchase is one sale. But with streaming and everything, now people don't have to like physically go outside or whatever like that. So 1,500 streams, and this is a real number, 1,500 streams equal one sale for that artist. So if I want to give Ugly God one sale, I would have to listen to his song 1,500 times in a row, or 1,500 times, which, you know, who does that, right? So obviously it's a collective kind of thing. But okay, so now if 30,000 sales the first week is equivalent to 45 million streams, because one sale is equivalent to 1,500 streams, right? And so that's what he's saying. So he's saying that it's super hard to really sell 30,000 in the first week, because that means that 45 million people would have had to been listening to his new music. Not that you're going back and listening to the old music like the booty tape, but you have to stream the new music 45 million times collectively for him to amass a sales of 30,000 in 1 week, right? And he's saying that, you know, honestly, when he actually came out with his first mixtape, that it did low sales, probably about 10,000 the first week, but then the second week it went up to 15, the third week it went up to 30,000, so on and so forth. So he's like, over time, you know, it built up based on the buzz and the songs off of the mixtapes and the singles too, right? Water and all that other, you know, the other songs, Beat My Meat and all them songs was fire. I Can Even Hold You, right? So what he's saying is making sense. So basically he's saying, like, I get that people, and this doesn't happen in other music genres, right? Not in pop, not in country music, not in rock and roll or classic rock or whatever the case may be, but only in hip hop do artists, A&Rs, record labels, and, you know, bloggers and media and everybody care about the first week's sales, right? So he's saying that that's kind of an old way of thinking because we don't buy records and go into the store like before. So why are you holding us to the same standards like before, right? Which makes complete and total sense, and I feel like Ugly got his talking straight facts here. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think about this and Nicki Minaj in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Jonny Fastlane on Instagram, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.